Welcome everybody in Facebook land to Cinder Winery here in Garden City. I'm Tyler Bradley, the tasting room manager here for Cinder Wines.
And I'm Hailey Alexander, the assistant winemaker here at Cinder. This is our 5th week of doing virtual tastings. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pretty crazy adventure doing all of this. You know, we've got some new skills in our back pocket.
Skills is one word for it, I would say. We're definitely trying to learn along the way.
Yeah.
But before we get going, let's open this bottle of wine.
Yeah, this week we're trying the Off-Dry Riesling.
I'm glad you got the corkscrew. That's always the worst if you can't find a corkscrew. So while Hailey opens this wine, before we dig into the good stuff, I want to talk to you about some other good stuff. Just to remind you, we still have some deals going on. This 2019 Off-Dry Riesling and our 2019 Dry Viognier are our staff picks right now. So if you buy a case, it's 25% off. And I don't know why you wouldn't buy a case. Just buy a case. You're going to drink it. And if you don't, you have friends who will help you. I guarantee it. Another thing that we're still doing, local home delivery complimentary on any order of 6 bottles or more. Same goes for FedEx ground shipping. Any order of 6 bottles or more, free shipping. Drive-through. Our curbside pickup is still open. We only have one spot at the moment, and it's at the east end of the building in front of the, what's it called? The ramp. That's what it's called.
That's what that thing's called.
Come fill your flasks, come buy bottles, or if you're just picking something up from the website that you ordered, definitely come grab it and say hello to us. 11 to 6 every day. Oh, there we go. I've just been rambling here waiting for this to happen so we can start.
You're parched.
Apparel is 30% off as well, and we're running low, so definitely get into the website and order some wonderful apparel. We got some sweatshirts, we got some tail end of winter stuff to sell. And finally, the most important announcement is tomorrow, Saturday, May 16th, we will be allowed to reopen to a limited seating capacity. Reservation only on the inside. Outside, we have 16 seats, 4 different four-tops. No reservations required, so please bear with us if it is completely full. We cannot exceed that seating capacity to be safe for our staff and for the community, but we're so excited to be able to see all your faces again after a couple months hiatus here. It's been a crazy time.
Yeah, we've missed you guys so much.
So let's get into it, Hailey.
Yeah.
You just poured this Riesling.
Yeah.
Let's cheers.
Cheers. If you haven't already, please open up your bottle and start tasting with us, because you know what we need, Tyler?
What do we need?
We need some audience participation.
Oh, yeah, totally.
We need some comments. We need your pairing suggestions, your descriptors for what you're smelling and tasting with the wine. We've got Joe behind the camera kind of doing our questions here, so he's going to be writing those down and we'll respond to them as we kind of go through the video. And then Mel's out there as well on Facebook answering any questions that we don't get to. So please feel free to be interactive.
Yes, and Riesling is a grape that is boisterous and has tons of character, and drinking it alone would be an insult to the grape. So please bombard Joe and Mel with questions. Make them work back there, for God's sakes. Yeah. And so now we can get to the good stuff. I'm going to take a sip. First sip.
Cheers. Oh my gosh, that's good.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
Yeah, that's really good.
So Hailey, why did you want to do this Riesling tasting more than anybody else in the building?
Besides you, right?
Yeah, well, that goes without saying. So,
I'm really, really passionate about Riesling. It's probably my favorite wine to make, let alone drink. So as soon as they kind of opened up the floor for opportunities for some of the other employees besides Joe and Mel to be able to do these tastings, I immediately thought about me and you, because that's kind of what we bonded over when you first started working here, was Riesling. So definitely a grape that I'm passionate about.
Yeah, totally. When I first started here, I was really nervous because when I tried the Riesling, when I tried the Viognier, all the white wines, I was like, wow, Mel and Hailey are doing these incredible things with white wine, and I don't know how to talk to them about it. And then Hailey just outed herself basically as like this massive Riesling fan. I was like, okay, I can survive here.
You're safe here.
I have a Riesling friend. We're good to go. And so far, I'm still here. So Riesling, one way or another, helped get it started.
Yeah.
And to kind of delve in to why you like Riesling so much, what makes Riesling so unique both in the vineyard and from a winemaking perspective? So why do you like it other than it tastes good?
Yeah. There's a lot of really awesome things to love about Riesling, but in particular here in Idaho, it's pretty winter hardy, so it does really well in Idaho as far as, our climate and everything does really well. But also probably one of the most remarkable things about Riesling is its high acidity. And it kind of holds on to that acidity for a really long time. Just to kind of give an example, we pick our Chardonnay kind of in the first week or two of September, and we pick our Riesling probably mid-October, and that tends to have the highest acid, out of any of our white wines. We're harvesting it at the same time that we do. Usually we're starting to bring in our red wines at that time, and it just is higher acid than anything else we bring in. So that lends it to be pretty versatile as far as like the different styles that we can do. We could do an off-dry, we could do a dry, but we try to do the off-dry because we think it, just does really well. It balances that high acidity out a lot, but it's very versatile. It's like a chameleon.
Yeah, that chameleon aspect, I think one of the best things about that is it brings out all the different characteristics and styles that Riesling has to showcase for itself. So do you want aromatics?
I do. I really do, Tyler.
And do you want intense flavors?
I do. I do want intense flavors.
And do you want insane acidity?
I do. Yeah. You know me. I'm an acid freak with wine.
Totally. Yeah. And that's something that Riesling has in spades that most grapes in the world cannot have themselves, at least in one single vintage, and Riesling has it almost all the time.
Yeah, it's consistent. And what's crazy is, when a grape is maturing, usually you see this trend of sugars rising and then the acid is dropping, but the grape, the Riesling grape just holds onto that acid for so much longer. It's really, really fun to work with. Yeah.
And was there a turning point for you with Riesling? Because Cinder didn't always make an off-dry Riesling. The first vintage was 2015. And so was there something that Mel and you did you have an epiphany? Did you decide, okay, we're just going to make a Riesling? What happened to kind of put it into the Cinder portfolio?
Yeah, we were really trying to diversify, with the different wines that we were bringing in. And Idaho Riesling had kind of always been on Mel's radar. She made a little bit of it at Chateau Ste. Michelle, and after she came here to Idaho, really came to appreciate it. But really what sparked at least my passion for it, we went to Riesling Rendezvous in 2016 after our first vintage of Off-Dry Riesling in 2015, and we tried in a 3-day span hundreds of Rieslings every single day. And, really kind of got a crash course of Riesling and the different styles, the so many different styles that you can enjoy and make with it. So it's amazing. It's an amazing grape, and it was such a fun convention to do, and really helped us kind of hone our style down on exactly, what we wanted to do with the Riesling at Cinder. So.
Yeah, if you can try hundreds of the same grape, like the same wine in a day and still not hate the thing,
it's special.
I think that's a testament to how special the grape is. So you're still making it today. You're still loving the Riesling.
Yeah.
And let's get into this one that we're trying right now. So this is definitely the 2019 Off-Dry Riesling, Snake River Valley, 100%. And to me, when I was tasting this initially, and now, a couple months ago when we were releasing it, and then now, it really is like the classic Riesling style that I come to expect. If you were to go look at a German label, almost like an Auslese, so there's a little bit of sweetness, but enough acid where the balance just makes a ton of sense.
Just makes it pop.
Right, and this is probably the most common just because of its approachability. So in terms of this 2019, was that something you're looking for all the time? And
Opa!
Well, there you go. We're still a winery here, believe it or not, even though we've been closed for months. So, true to fashion.
Yep. This wine.
Yeah, what happened in 2019? Is this what you expected? And was there anything unique about what happened last year?
Well, the great thing about winemaking, Tyler, is the moment you start expecting anything from Mother Nature, that's when she starts changing it up on you.
Oh, yeah.
So last year, it was a little bit cooler than we normally expect here in the Snake River Valley. So with this wine in particular, I think you're going to find a little bit more of those citrus notes on the nose. Also, I think you can look at the label, and also just texturally, it has a little bit less alcohol percentage than previous years, just because there's a little bit less sugar development. But overall, I mean, this is what we're going for with Riesling every year. We want it to have that really bright pop of acid on the finish, a little bit of sweetness just to balance it out, which will lend it to pair super great with a whole bunch of different kinds of foods.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I see our
I know.
Momo's
Look
Cafe
at this over here.
there, and it's just screaming at me. Shout out to Momo's. They've got some great
Spicy
food.
Joe's writing some pairing suggestions down on the board. Definitely
Yeah.
get those pairing suggestions in. We're
Descriptors,
curious to hear what you all think. And this food is wafting over here right now, and we're loving this tasting,
It's
but
cruel.
it's killing us right
It's
now
cruel.
because it'd go perfectly with this wine. And what is there anything else about this wine specifically? That little bit of residual sugar,
Yeah.
and that's pretty standard.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? And this might be a little too nerdy. I don't know. You'll have to tell me.
I mean, if they're watching this, they had to know what they were
pretty
getting
nerdy,
into,
right?
Yeah.
This wine has exactly 2.08% residual.
No way.
208. We hit the area code. That's not an accident, Facebook land, all right? Everything we do back there, it's an exact science.
Yeah.
So
this is what we're working with at Cinder. Production is so fine-tuned that they can do the exact residual sugar of the area code for the Boise area. You
You're
can't
welcome.
get that most places. You just can't. So another reason why this wine is so perfect. Well, that's great. Shout out Mike Bankhead as well.
Yes.
Bankhead Vineyard, up by Payette, right?
Yep.
And that's where all this fruit came from. And here comes another pairing suggestion: key lime pie.
Oh, my
Interesting. That sounds
goodness.
amazing.
Oh,
Curry.
and curry, absolutely.
Yeah.
Looking
Yeah.
at you, Momo's Cafe.
I know. That might be in our future here in a bit.
Yeah.
So, one question I have for you before we get into any questions that people have is you're talking about that pop and that acid. And I think one of the things that both of us also want to emphasize about Riesling is that most white wines, you do not age them for too long.
Right.
And Riesling, this Riesling
Yes.
you can drink now. But one of the best parts about Riesling and that insane acid that lends itself to its own international acidity scale, actually, is that this is one of the most ageable grapes in the world.
Absolutely.
And was there like a aha Riesling that you had that was aged that was just, oh man, okay.
Definitely. Yeah. In that conference that me and Melanie went to, Riesling Rendezvous, we tried, a whole bunch of different Rieslings, but one in particular that really stood out to me was a 1984 Trockenbeeren Auslese.
There you go.
And it still, even though it was so old, and Trockenbeeren Auslese, they have a lot of sugar, but also a lot of acid. It still tastes so youthful, but it was unlike anything I had ever tasted. And I think that, this Riesling, even though it's not quite to that sugar level, really has that potential to age super, super well in your cellar. So please buy, a little bit more. Tyler's going to yell at me. Buy a case more.
Yeah, we only sell cases, Hailey, okay? Cases. 25%. Can't pass that up. So
buy an extra case and then hold it, in your cellar and sell a bottle, or drink a bottle. Been in the winery too long.
there you go. Yeah.
The Momo's is getting to me. But drink a bottle every year, if you buy a couple cases. I mean, this wine can age super, super well for, 10 to 20 years,
Yeah.
honestly. Anything
It's
like
got
our,
things
like
to
our
say.
red wines. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Ooh,
it looks
got a
like we're going to
question.
get some questions. And this question, I'll definitely direct this to Hailey.
Yeah.
Why are so many Rieslings sweet?
So that's a really, really good question. After Prohibition, our whole palate as, in America kind of shifted a little bit. We started to enjoy more cocktails, sodas, that type of thing. And so our palate really started to adjust more to sweeter things, And, even in, Germany, they made all of those different styles, but they just had, so much sweet wine that we just seemed to eat up. So they just started sending it to us, all the time, even though they made tons of dry Rieslings or Auschleses, slightly sweet. But we just, kind of got sent all of those sweet Rieslings. And that's kind of been the trend, but it's kind of going back down again. People are starting to enjoy drier wines. And, I think what's really interesting about being a wine drinker and kind of progressing and growing as one, generally the trend starts as you start with sweet wine, and then you start branching out. You start maybe trying some drier white wines, some red wine. But then it kind of comes full circle, though, because, an experienced wine drinker, one who's brave, you learn to come back and appreciate sweet wines for, what they are and kind of where they're at in the wine world. Each of them has their place. And I think sweet wines are severely underestimated in the wine world and underappreciated in a lot of circumstances. Because, again, you couldn't age a lot of white wines like you can a Riesling, especially if it has a little bit of sugar in there. So, it's one of those things that I really hope, if you haven't gotten into sweet wines or, in a while, or you're just more of a red drinker, try to start experimenting and, learning to really appreciate the Riesling and some other white wines, because they take a lot of skill and finesse to make, and they're super enjoyable, especially in the hot summer months that we're going to be seeing soon. So
Yeah, totally. And I think the other thing too is the sweetness. It's hard to notice when it's made well because it's about the nature of the grape and the chemistry. So the sweetness is there, but if it's made well by talented winemakers, then it just adds balance and complexity that most things can't have.
Right.
So,
and something I forgot to mention too, little bit of sweetness too is amazing with food, which, Tyler, I can't wait any longer.
All right, I figured this would happen. I'm going to get off camera for a second. So
grab that food for us? Seriously, guys, if we had a smell cam, you would do the same thing that we're doing right now. So looks like we've got some more pairing suggestions from you guys as well. Tandoori, yes, absolutely. Thai food, yes, that little bit of heat. A little bit of residual sugar, a little bit of sweetness really helps, I think, balance out the heat that you'll find in certain spicy foods. So, yeah, chicken tacos, really spicy, Thai food, it just really helps kind of balance it out a little bit here. Oh, we've got naan.
we got naan, people.
This isn't a joke. This isn't a drill.
I know, they gave us this tasting. We volunteered for it, and we're like, this is a great excuse to order food into work.
I'm like, yeah, so we're going to order Indian food, right?
Any excuse whatsoever. So I'm going to grab some naan right here.
Yeah, ooh.
All right. Well, if there's no other questions in terms of, I'm sure people are just eating the food that they have at home right now, just like us.
And we could go on for hours.
I know. So I'm gonna try this. If you ever actually let me have some. Let's see.
I don't know, man. Looks too good.
Yeah, look, Momo's on Broadway. Thank you so much. Go order from them.
Yeah, support those local restaurants out there, and definitely crack open a bottle when you try it. with whatever you're eating tonight. But
yeah, let's give this a shot.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Prost. So there you go, 2019 Off-Dry Riesling, one of the best wines that comes out every year. And before we go, we have some important announcements.
Definitely.
We'd be remiss if we did not mention the winner of the hashtag Where Do You Cinder prize. And what's the prize this week, Hailey? Let's move this for a second here. We got to show the prize. We got to show the winner.
All right, so the winner will receive this awesome gift box that we have. 2 stemless glasses, our Syrah hydro flask, and then a hoodie as well.
There we go. That's a good pack. It looks nice.
It's beautiful.
That's our newest flask as well, and I've been really enjoying it. And the winner this week, if you were to look at the photo, you would think she's an employee here, but it turns out she's not. And basically her and her friends, for Mother's Day, since things were closed, couldn't do their normal tasting excursion. So April Spackman, congratulations, you won the prize this week. And you were the Cinder representative. Your friends all got around, tailgated, had different wines from different places, and honestly, it looks like you worked here for years. So congratulations. And we hope you get to come pick up this pack and fill up that flask immediately, because it's empty, and what's the point of an empty flask? So
it's a sin. And also a special shout out to the runner-up, Jeff and Jenny Riley. You guys, that spread of bottles was just amazing. So me personally, I think I can speak for everyone here, have really, really been enjoying looking at those photos of you guys enjoying Cinder out in the wild. And, we just miss you guys so much in here. And so it's been really great to be able to connect with you guys that way and see your guys' faces in that way. So thank you so much. Please continue to send us your photos and using the hashtag Where Do You Cinder. It's been really great. Yeah,
Instagram, Facebook, send via email, whatever it is. It's been awesome to stay connected with you in whatever capacity possible.
Yeah.
And last thing before we go and dig into this delicious food in a way that probably shouldn't be on camera. So I want to close it out before that happens.
Lunch,
we skipped lunch for this.
It's not going to be pretty.
Let's not show that. Hailey, the code this week for 4 bottles or more, if you order 4 bottles or more, that's at the tasting room or web store or over the phone, 208-906-0555, is Snapback. And we have a few different color options. We will put those complimentary in if you order 4 bottles or more. And once the color's out, it's gone. So don't be shy. It's snapback weather outside. Disregard the rain yesterday. That doesn't happen very often. And every time I read off our wine club number, I think we need a jingle or something, kind of like Empire. But we haven't figured that out yet. But please give us a call. Go on the website. Snapback in the order notes.
We've got blue, pink, gray. I mean, these things are awesome. I can't rock it backwards.
No, I can't either. Yeah. So I just drink wine. I don't actually look cool doing it, but so thank you so much.
Here.
Order these hats. You'll look great. It pairs well with the Riesling, almost as well as this Momo's. And thanks, Hailey, for joining me.
Thank you, Tyler. It's been great.
They might never let us do this again. So
especially if we eat on camera.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get out of here.
Right,
but thank you guys so much for tuning in as well. It's been a pleasure, and stay safe out there.
We miss you all.
Miss you.
Prost.
Bye, guys.